An astonishing couple of hours here in the Magic Box.
Sheer delight! A wonderful match.
The most extraordinary tie-break. Spain are in the final.
Incredible scenes here.
The 2019 World Champions.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining us at the draw ceremony for the Davis Cup by Rakuten Madrid Finals that will be held at the Caja Magica from the 23rd to the 29th of November of this year. Since its inaugural tie 120 years ago, Davis Cup has evolved to become the largest and most important annual international team competition in sport, with 142 nations entered for 2020. This November, the 18 best teams will compete in Madrid with one dream: to be world champions. Here with us on the stage is the famous Davis Cup trophy, presented in its bespoke travel case crafted by Louis Vuitton, that will be handed to the winners in Madrid. It was first awarded in 1900 to the United States, who defeated a team from the British Isles in Boston. Most recently, it was the Spanish team who took ownership of the trophy after defeating Canada in a thrilling final last year. The 2020 competition is already well underway. The Davis Cup by Rakuten qualifiers took place just last weekend, with 24 nations competing in 12 different cities around the world, and the winning nations securing their places at the finals in Madrid. As ever, the qualifiers exhibited some of the defining characteristics of the Davis Cup over the years, with huge amounts of passion, emotion and effort on show. So let's take a look back at last weekend's action. So, as we saw, Australia, Austria, Colombia, Croatia, Czech Republic, Ecuador, Germany, Hungary, Italy, Kazakhstan, Sweden and the USA all won at the weekend to advance to the finals. Those 12 nations will join the 4 semi-finalists from the Davis Cup Finals of 2019, who were Spain, Canada, Great Britain and Russia, as well as the 2 wildcard nations, France and Serbia. One of these 18 teams will be the next world champions. Now, before we conduct the draw, let's have a few words with the ITF President, David Haggerty. David, great to have you with us. We'll get to the draw in a moment, but it's impossible to ignore the current coronavirus outbreak and the impact that it's having around the world, including in professional sports. So I know that you'd like to say a few words about the current situation.
Yes, well, thank you, Annabelle. Yeah, COVID-19 is a serious threat, and I think that we have a responsibility as a tennis body to make sure that we look at this in a very, very serious way. We made a difficult decision yesterday to postpone the Fed Cup finals and the playoffs, which were due to be played next month, because we want to make sure the safety of the players, the fans, the public is utmost in our minds. With that in mind, we do look towards the Davis Cup finals. We are 8 months away, and planning goes on as usual and as it should, and very excited to be here to see the outcome of the draw today.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. Now, on a brighter note, it's been almost 4 months since the final. So how do you reflect back on the event last year?
Well, last year was a great start to the new finals format. It was great. We saw Spain and Canada in a compelling finals match, which was tremendous. And we know that this year, with the changes that we're making and the improvements, feedback from the players, it'll be an even better experience for the fans, the players, and everyone. So we look forward to seeing everyone in Madrid.
We certainly do. Thank you very much for that, David. Now it's time to conduct the draw. So I'd like to welcome the ITF's Head of Officiating and Referee for the Davis Cup Finals, Søren Friemel. Welcome to you. It's over to you to conduct the draw.
Thank you very much. And at the Davis Cup Madrid Finals, the 18 nations will be split into 6 groups, and each group will consist of 3 nations. And to conduct the draw, we first place the 18 nations into 3 pots. First pot is for the seeded nations 1 to 6, pot 2 for the nations ranked 7 to 12, and pot 3 for the nations ranked 13 to 18. So we start with pot 1, and the number 1 seed of the Davis Cup Madrid Finals is Spain as a current champion. The runner-up as a 2nd seed, Canada. Number 3, France. Number 4, Croatia. Number 5, USA. And number 6, Serbia. Pot 2 will consist of the nations 7 to 12. And we start with the number 7, Germany. Number 8, Italy. Number 9, Great Britain. 10, Australia. 11, Kazakhstan, and number 12, Russia. In pot 3, the nations ranked 13 to 18, and number 13 is Sweden. 14, Austria. 15, Czech Republic. 16, Colombia. 17, Hungary. And the 18th nation, Ecuador. We start with pot 1, and we position the top 6 seeds into the 6 groups, starting with Spain on line 1 in Group A.
Spain were champions for the 6th time in 2019, winning all 5 ties they played in Madrid. It was their first title since 2011.
On line 1 in Group B, 2nd seed Canada.
Canada, runners-up in 2019, their best ever Davis Cup performance. They fell to Spain in the final last year.
In Group C on line 1, France.
10 times champions, most recently in 2017. They finished 2nd in Group A at the finals last year and were awarded a wild card for 2020.
In Group D on line 1, Croatia.
Champions in 2018, aiming to bounce back after finishing third in Group B at the finals last year. They defeated India in the qualifiers last weekend.
USA on line 1 in Group E.
32-time champions, but without a title in 13 years. They finished second in Group F at the finals last year and defeated Uzbekistan in the qualifiers last weekend.
The number 6 seed Serbia on line 1 in Group F.
Champions once in 2010, they lost a very tight tie to Russia in the quarter-finals last year and have been awarded a wild card for 2020.
We're going to place the nations of Pool 2 in the Davis Cup Trophy, and we draw into the different groups on line 2, starting with Group A. First team on line 2 in Group A. Russia.
Russia, semi-finalist in 2019, their best performance since 2008. They were Davis Cup champions in 2002 and 2006.
On line 2 in Group B. Kazakhstan.
Narrowly missed out on a quarter-final spot last year, finishing second in Group E behind Great Britain, but defeated Netherlands in the qualifiers last weekend.
On line 2 in Group C. Great Britain.
Great Britain was semi-finalists last year, losing a dramatic doubles match to Spain in the last four. Champions on 10 occasions, most recently in 2015.
On line 2 in Group D. Australia.
28 times champions, aiming for their first Davis Cup title since 2003. They were quarter-finalists in 2019 and defeated Brazil in the qualifiers last weekend.
On line 2 in Group E. Italy.
Champions once in 1976 and runners-up on 6 other occasions. They defeated Korea Republic in the qualifiers last weekend.
And on line 2 in Group F. Germany.
3-time champions who reached the quarterfinals last year but fell to Great Britain. They defeated Belarus in the qualifiers last weekend.
I'm going to place the nations of Group 3 to the Davis Cup Trophy and start again with the nations on line 3 in Group A. Completing Group A. Ecuador.
Produced the shock of the round to defeat Japan in the qualifiers last weekend. Their best Davis Cup performance is reaching the quarterfinals back in 1985.
On line 3 in Group B. Sweden.
7-time champions back among the Davis Cup elite for the first time since 2012. They defeated Chile in the qualifiers last weekend.
On line 3 in Group C. Czech Republic.
Back-to-back champions in 2012 and 2013. The Czechs are back at the highest level of the competition after a 2-year absence. They defeated neighbours Slovakia in the qualifiers last weekend.
On line 3 in Group D.
finals debutants who came through a titanic tussle with Belgium in the qualifiers last weekend, recording a 3-2 victory.
On line 3 in Group E. Colombia.
Returning to the finals for the second time after winning an all-South American qualifiers clash against Argentina last weekend, they finished third in Group D last year.
And completing Group F. Austria.
Came one set from reaching the Davis Cup final 30 years ago when they lost to the USA in the semi-finals. They defeated Uruguay in the qualifiers last weekend. So, with the group set, we're now ready to move on to the draw for the quarterfinals. So, Soren, it's back to you.
Okay. For the quarterfinal draw, the 6 winners of the groups will qualify for the quarterfinal, plus the 2 best runner-up nations. And to draw this, the positions of those winners and the best runner-ups, we're going to place the winner of the Group A on line 1. The winner of Group B will be placed on line 8. The 2 best run-up nations will be drawn on line 2 and line 7. Now we're going to draw the winners of groups C and D on line 3 and 6. And the first winner to be chosen will be on line 3, the second on line 6. On line 3, we have the winner of Group C. And on line 6, winner of Group D. The group winners of E and F will be drawn on line 4 and 5. Same procedure. First one drawn on line 4 and the second on line 5. The winner of Group F on line 4. And on line 5, the winner of Group E. This concludes the quarterfinal draw, and back to you.
Thank you very much. So there's the draw for the Davis Cup by Rakuten Madrid Finals, and already we can see some fantastic matchups to look forward to in November. My thanks to David and Soren for being here with us today, and thank you also to our viewers for tuning into the draw this afternoon. Tickets for the finals will be on sale via daviscupfinals.com in the coming weeks. Keep an eye on the website and the Davis Cup Finals channels on social media for more updates, and thank you once again for joining us today. We look forward to welcoming you to Madrid in November. Bye for now.
An astonishing couple of hours here in the Magic Box.
Sheer delight. A wonderful match.
The most extraordinary tie-break. Spain are in the final.
Incredible scenes here.
The 2019 world champions.